This is the Pommern, a Tier 8 premium German battleship. It is the main reward for the Gryphon of the Baltic campaign, and for 2,500 doubloons you really can't go wrong with the ship. But it does suffer a little bit from accuracy consistency of the main guns. But you know, German battleships do have pretty good secondaries, so I do have the secondary epic mod going there, and there is that. So how does the ship stack up when compared to the other German battleships? Let's check out the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Franz Von Hipper. And I did have a couple of choices here. You know, I've got Hyde, which would enhance the secondaries, but I went, and I've got Tesla here, I've got Megatron, I've got Pickup, but I went with the historical commander, which I think most everybody would have. So let's go ahead and check him out. Base trait is elbow room, which improves the secondary gun range and its shell grouping. And for inspirations, I have Andrew Cunningham for concentrated devastation, which improves the battleship's main battery shell grouping, and this is really important in practically any German battleship. Second inspiration is Robert Ujard Borer, which improves the battleship's armor-piercing shell penetration, and you do get pretty good performance out of the main guns when you do get a hit. First skill is Flammable Cannoneer, which improves the battleship's main battery range and shell grouping, but it is at the risk of catching fire. Second skill is Gyrating Drill Bits, which improves the battleship's gun traverse speed and its armor-piercing shell damage, but it is at the cost of a maximum speed. Marksmanship is the third skill, which improves the main battery dispersion, but you do take a hit on the rudder shift time. And here, a holdover from my secondary testing in AI, Properly Meticulous, which improves the secondary battery reload time and enhanced secondary targeting duration. And other than that, I would have selected Reaching Out XXL, but as you're going to see, the range of the main guns are pretty good anyway, even though we have Properly Meticulous selected. Legendary skill is Will to Rebuild. Amount of HP recovered is 73% here at Legendary Rank 3. When you go up to Rank 4, that goes up to 110%. And the repair party duration takes a little bit of a hit, but that is overcompensated with the huge amount of HP that is recovered when you get to Legendary Rank 3 and Rank 4. The special effect will auto repair when the HP is equal to or less than 20%. And to make that happen, you have to be within 2.75 kilometers of an allied ship with this build, and that is at Legendary Rank 3. Going up to Legendary Rank 4 will increase that radius up to 3.5 kilometers. And then the upgrades for the Pommern. First upgrade is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery is improved by 7%. Torpedo launcher traverse speed is improved, and the secondary battery firing range and its dispersion is improved as well. Second upgrade is Propulsion Mod 2. Time taken to reach full power is cut in half. And then we have Concealment System Mod 1. Detectability range is improved by 10%, and the incoming fire dispersion is improved by 5%, and this doubles up on your fully upgraded camo or skin. And then for the fourth upgrade, I have Secondary Battery Mod 3, and instead of the regular Secondary Battery Mod 3, why not? I started playing around with the Epic modification here, and for every 50 secondary hits, secondary battery reload time will get a boost of 5%. It's already at 20% with this modification, and you can go up another 25% there because the epic boost will ratchet up 5 times for every 50 hits. Alright, as far as the loadout goes, you have your ammunition, high explosive shells, and armor piercing shells, and the torpedoes, which we will get into in a minute. Damage control party duration is 15 seconds, reloads every 80 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of those consumables. Repair party partially restores the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 708 hit points per second, and this will really dramatically go up when you rank up to legendary rank 4. It will be close to 900 hit points per second or so. Duration is 16.8 seconds, reloads every 80 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. Next is enhanced secondary targeting, which improves the secondary battery shell grouping by 100% and its dispersion by 50%. Duration is 37 seconds, reloads every 160 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. The ship has sonar. Detectability of torpedoes is 4 kilometers. Ships are detected at 6 kilometers. Duration is 60 seconds. Reloads every 180 seconds. That's 3 minutes, and there are 2 of those consumables. I don't have any boosters set up, but that could change depending on the match. And a camo. The ship does come with a Type 9 Premium Permanent Camouflage. Sea detectability and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. And the stats. Survivability hit points is 81,900. Armor is 19 to 400 millimeter. Torpedo damage reduction is 25%. Artillery is rated at 90. That's pretty good. You have 12 15-inch guns. They reach out to 18.6 kilometers with this build. So even with the secondaries set up in the commander build in slot number 4 and skill number 4, we still have almost 19 kilometer main battery range. That is pretty good. Reload time is a little slow at 33 seconds, but the traverse time is pretty speedy at 27 seconds, especially for a battleship. HE shells have a maximum of 4,400 with a 34% chance of setting fire. Arm-piercing shells have a maximum of 12,760. And a secondary armament here, you can see that is pretty good. They reach out to 8.4 kilometers, and they reload every 2.4 seconds for the 105s, and the 150s reload every 54 seconds. And the maximum damage for the HE shells is 1,200 and 1,700, and 5 and 8% chance of setting fire there. Torpedoes, you have 2 racks of 4 torpedoes each. They reload every 90 seconds. Maximum damage is 13,700. Range, though, is only 6 kilometers with a 64 knot speed. AA is rated at 78. That looks like a fair amount of guns. I haven't noticed that the Pommern could particularly clear the sky, though, so you want to keep an eye on that nonetheless. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 27.9 knots, 28 knots. Turning circle radius is 940 meters. Rudder shift time is 18 seconds. Concealment, detectability range by sea is 13.7 kilometers. Range by air is 11.5 kilometers, and detectability while firing into smoke is 14.6 kilometers. And you have to remember that when the artillery is firing and you're in the open water, your detectability range goes out to the range of the main gun. So this knocks that down by like 4 kilometers or so. All right, let's take a look at the armor. And yeah, this looks like a Tier 7 Tier 8 battleship with all that orange and yellow armor on the bow and the stern and along the torpedo belt. And superstructure is kind of light, but I guess you kind of expect that. So let's take a look at the Citadel. And all right, so I guess the Citadel is up above the water a little bit, and really, even though everybody always looks at this, it looks like you can bow tank a little bit, but really you don't want to go broadside, and you always want to be mindful of staying angled if you can, even though it's difficult sometimes. And then the overview. The ship is ironclad with an above average armor thickness and a greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration. The ship is tough. It has an above average base HP rating, and at just under 82,000, that is slightly lower than the Frederick de Grosser. So the ship does have a pretty good HP pool, that is for sure. Secondary reach, the ship has an above average secondary battering range, and that is pretty much true of all German battleships, it seems like, even though The Pommern does have a bit shorter range than, say, the Bismarck, for example. So then the Pommern is a large, well-armored ship with powerful armor protection. It was essentially a draft design for an H-class battleship equipped with 308mm triple main battery turrets. Year of design was 1935, and there were no ships in the series. Alright, well that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights.
Alright, we are in Land of Fire, and the first thing we're going to do is check out some secondary action, as long as we have the Epic Secondary mod installed on the Pommern, and you get to see a little bit about what the secondaries are like here on the ship. There is a PDAR bagration that is not looking very good, so I took a shot at him, and then I went over and started concentrating on the Musashi. That Musashi is starting to get hit with the secondaries, and yeah, so that guy is going to get nailed with secondaries. And there I concentrate my secondary targeting on that Musashi while I concentrate on taking out the bagration. Kind of looks like I did take him out with a secondary hit, but I didn't get a close quarters medal there, so that was kind of interesting. And there, the mains was selected, and I've reselected the Musashi. I'm not really sure how that switched, but you can see the secondary hits are really racking up on this Musashi here. And yeah, we are going to click in the first epic boost for the secondaries here in just a little bit. Just a few more shots to go. And there you go. Quicker reload of the secondary battery guns. And yeah, that bagration lets some torpedoes go. Luckily, we were turning around to go back toward the Musashi there.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
And all right, so that guy did get taken out. I kind of thought that we were going to do it. And here's a Prince Rupert that is broadside to us. So you're going to see the Citadel Power of the Pommern right here. So no problem getting a Citadel hit with these 15-inch main guns. And we're concentrating on that Rupert with our secondaries.
The ship is on fire.
So now we're going to move around and try to get them with our torpedoes. And the secondaries are still really going. They've really got me on fire here, so that's the one thing about any of the German battleships is they're really quick to get lit on fire. So you want to be mindful of that as you're setting up your ship. A lot of times I was going with the health boosts, but that's how I started out, was to prevent fires on the German battleships. But in the end, that Rupert is gone, and I ended up going away from the safety net of the health protection to prevent fires on the German battleships, and I just basically went for it. So here's his mains, and he's really getting nailed with our secondaries. Going to be looking for a close quarters medal here. Here I've concentrated on him with the secondary targeting, and there's a close quarters expert medal. And yeah, that's what you want to see with a ship that basically features secondaries like any of the German battleships, especially when I have the secondary mod going. Next up is a battle in Warrior's Path. And the first thing I'll mention is, even though the secondaries are pretty good, in the Pommern you're not going to see that much secondary action in this particular match. But here's a Richelieu basically going broadside. I'm not really sure that is the best option for him, but we are going to take a shot and let's see if we can get some damage. And yeah, only a couple thousand, not really that much there, but boy, that guy is coming around and he is going nose on to my teammate right there. Looks like they're going to take each other out, and looks like my teammate took care of the situation. So all right, let's go forward, and we're going to head toward that Massachusetts that I spotted over to the right. But we're checking over here to see if there are any other red team ships. There are none. And yeah, for 2,500 doubloons, you can't really go wrong with a tier 8 ship here. So that is certainly something that you should think about. The ship is not necessarily overpowering and completely devastating. It is a normal German battleship, basically. You know, kind of equal to any tier 7 or tier 8 German battleship you may already have. So, yeah, you want to keep that in mind. You do see a lot of videos out there about people talking about how the Pommern is not overwhelming and all of that, but it is, you know, basically just another German battleship, a tier 8 battleship. So, and I'm waiting for the red team Massachusetts to show up from behind that island, and there he is. So that is a perfect broadside shot. I think I'm angled a little bit better than he is. And we're going to see if we can get something done there. I'm hitting full reverse to try to confuse him. And there go the shots. They are, well, I guess that kind of looked like they fell short a little bit. So, yeah, they were definitely aimed at the bow. The fact that I backed up did not help out that Massachusetts player. And it looks like we're going to get reloaded to get another broadside shot on that guy. And let's see if we can take him out.
Enemy battleship sighted.
And that guy is gone with a Citadel hit. So only 3 hits there. One of them was a Citadel and basically took him out. We're up to 24,000 damage already. And here's a Plymouth behind that island. That is not great. But here is a Georgia out in the open water like this, and that guy will get removed pretty quickly, and he is definitely vulnerable to Citadel hits. So that looked like a great lead for that guy, and you can see the secondaries are starting to go off already. And all right, so he was turning in, and we didn't get anything done there. But he is going broadside again, so I guess he's avoiding those torpedoes. There's my teammate asking me to turn around, but I'm going to go for it here. And I don't think it would do me any good to turn around because I would expose my broadside. So to a certain extent, once you make a commitment, you just got to go with it. But I'm not going to charge in there at full speed. I did hit the brakes already, and there is another Citadel hit on the Georgia. See if we can take out the Georgia. Doesn't really have much health left, and he survived that. Wow. Let's see if he can survive another 22 seconds. We can have another shot at him. And he's looking to avoid those torpedoes, but he's going to get nailed by that one torpedo right there. So that Georgia is done. And the Zeiton is done as well, even though the Zeiton did get a close quarters combat medal. And here's a Fletcher within 9 kilometers, and secondaries are going. Hit the secondary targeting enhancement, and we'll see if we can get some hits. And it looks like he has a smoke screen going already. So here's a little bit of a blind fire. And that was a miss. But yeah, I am definitely turning away from the Fletcher. I don't really want to race foolhardy into a bunch of torpedoes, so I'm turning away.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And it looks like we are ahead a little bit in the match based on more ships being destroyed. So there, I believe that is the Plymouth I was talking about earlier from behind that island. And yeah, that guy has a good overarching firing angle, and he is just really going to town on me there. And he is very difficult to get. Looks like I can get a shot with him. And let's see if we can get anything done there. That would be a lucky hit. And whoa, we get a Citadel. Only one single hit, and it was a Citadel, even though that Plymouth was trying to hide behind the island there. All right, so we're starting to capture the red base. We've got about a minute and a half left here before that base gets captured. Less than a minute and a half. It looks like it's more than halfway captured. So let's see if we can do anything to the Pommern. And it looks like the entire red team is right in front of us. So they definitely cleared out the flag.
Get back.
And they've chased our Suzuya away. So, all right, there you go. We are even on ships at the moment, and we could definitely lose this match. And there's a Suzuya going broadside. Let's see if we can take him out. Don't need much of a hit there to get that one done. And the Suzuya is gone on a single hit. And now we are backing up. We're up against the Pommern. And I think that destroyer is out there. So all three ships are in that area. And if I head right in there, I am certain I will get wiped out when they concentrate their fire on me. So here, I'm basically doing a little bit of a blind fire there. I'm kind of guessing where that guy is. He definitely disappeared several seconds before he took that shot. And whoa, 3 hits and I got him. I really don't believe it, but there you go. Yeah, that was one of the rare blind fires I have. And now 45 seconds left. It's just a Pommern, and I think that's a Fletcher that's on the red team. So let's see if we can get a 4th destroyed ship here. We've got like 30 seconds to go. It's just the Pommern on the red team. Let's see if we can get it done. Doesn't have much left, so any kind of a hit should do it. And nothing. So, all right, that Pommern was pretty maneuverable there. But, yeah, 11 seconds left. We're definitely going to win the match. All right, well, that was a big-time victory in the Pommern. We took out a third of the red team. Nothing wrong with that. 256,000 credits, 71,000 battle performance damage on 35 main gun hits, 3 Citadel hits, a Dreadnought medal. And, yeah, if nothing else, you get some idea of what the ship is all about. It's definitely worth the 2,500 doubloons for the Admiralty backing for a Tier 8 battleship. So let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.